Hey, BIS 302, this is take three of this video. Um, I was outside, I did the whole video. It sucked, it's rainy, it's terrible out there. Came in trying to get it done. I got family that came over. I'm at my mother's house. Just the TMI portion, yeah, that's my nephew right there. And you know who that guy is, and he's a pilot for Delta. Anyways, moving right along, Module 4, welcome back. We're over halfway through this course, and you guys are learning at a lightning speed, right? I mean, it's just whizzing by. I do recognize that, and I've tried to make concessions where I could while maintaining the academic rigor and following the protocols and parameters of scholarly research. Okay, remember, this isn't like researching a trip to Europe or researching a new car or researching the Titanic. This is scholarly research that supposed endeavors to add to the body of knowledge in your field. Okay, so I prefer outdoors. Lighting is so bad. It's like, God, you get more reflections off of me here. But I've got my laptop here. Okay, so um, I look at module 4, 5, 6, 7 as two sets. 4 and 5 are the proposal portion, and 6 and 7 are the data and final paper sections. Okay, we'll be talking a lot about the proposal in this and module 5. We'll start doing that, but we're also going to get on the survey and things too, so you can get started on that data collection even before module 6. Okay, so let's look at, by the end of this module, the objectives. Students will be able to learn how to write a research proposal, learn to write research questions and a hypothesis statement, explore possible ethical issues that could arise, learn how to pick a sample population, operationalize constructs, develop an instrument to measure data, and clearly define how a research project will be set up and carried out. That's a lot, it's a mouthful, and we'll get right into learning materials because there's a lot to unpack in this module, okay? Um, let's start with in the learning materials page, there's a bunch of links and attachments in there, okay? First one being the research packet for proposals and final papers. I should not be yawning. I had like 10 hours of sleep. Sorry about that. Is this boring you? Am I boring myself? Okay, so looking at the research packet, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or so pages, single line spaced in Word, that talks about the general format of your papers, your proposal and your final paper, okay? So take a look at that. Again, I'm trying to give all kinds of context, whether it's the examples, the samples, the presentations, as well as these attachments, just to show you what's going on, okay? So the proposal will contain the first 3 chapters of the research study and is written in future tense. Those chapters are Chapter 1, the introduction, Chapter 2 is the review of literature, and Chapter 3 is methodology. Then it will have a reference page and an optional appendix. I don't want you to worry about the appendix, okay? All right, so, and then the final chapter is 5, the final paper is 5 chapters, and you get into that. But then there's here, writing the proposal. Why write a proposal? Take a look at that, read it, okay? How should the proposal be organized? Read that, all right? Title page, table of contents, chapter 1, introduction and statement of problem. And they're going to get into some specifics about how to organize this. The problem, the hypothesis, significance of the study, the assumptions of the study, the limitations of the study, and definitions. When it comes to definitions, I want you to use your own definitions. I don't want to see Merriam-Webster. I don't want to see dictionary.com. I want you to define what you mean by wellness, what you mean by, you know, whatever topic it is, sustainability, habits, behavior, climatology. Yes, pick and choose some of that from official definitions, but I want you to define your terms on your own terms, right? So there you go. Okay, chapter 3 is review of related literature. Actually, no, I'm sorry, that's the final papers, that's the proposal. Proposal, chapter 1, introduction, chapter 2, review of literature, chapter 3, methodology. Okay, so let's see. And here I don't know if I'm getting chapter 1, introduction and statement of problem. Chapter 2 is a lit review. See, it's confusing. I'm sorry, because it's number 3, chapter 2, lit review. Ugh. And then number 4 is chapter 3, methodology. And then you're going to do take a look at this. Then the writing of the final paper comes after that. So that's all in that link for the research packet for proposals and final papers. Next one is sample informed consent form. This is for when you're doing interviews or getting data, talking to people, things. You got to get an informed consent. That means people know what they're going to be doing. All right. You remember, some of you might know about a study that was done, I think, about the Havasupai Native Americans up in Arizona years ago. They were studied, I think it was maybe a diabetic study or something. Blood was taken and all this stuff. And then the researchers either sold it or went off the rails sideways and started researching other things with the blood that was totally unethical. They did not have permission to do those things, and they were held accountable. Okay, so informed consent forms are important, but for this class, remember, in introduction to research, 99.9% of you are doing anonymous surveys, random adults. You do not need a consent form signed. You do not need it. I repeat, you do not need it. Okay, the mere participation of a survey anonymously is consent. Okay, that being said, Easter egg number 1, no consent form needed. Okay, thank you. All right, so back to it. Then we've got the rubric for the proposal. Take a look at that. Currently shows 155 possible. I'm going to change that to make it 150. I think the actual scoring in the submission is 150, but it's all there. The criteria and the sections that you need to be sure of. I got so many Word docs open. I'm sorry. There's a lot to look at here. Those are the scripts. We don't need those. The proposal. You're going to see this rubric, you guys, and the highlighted section. Come on. There it is. Okay. The highlighted part of this rubric is what you're doing. Okay. Only the highlighted. All right. The rest is the final paper. So you're going to be scored on APA formatting, the introduction, the lit review, and the methods. Obviously, you're already doing a lit review, and you're going to be scored on that first, and you're going to be scored on a lit review again. So in the course of this paper, as it goes along, feel free to change anything you want to improve it, okay, if you'd like. And go with that. Okay, so that's the rubric. Now, next up is samples of proposals. There's a couple samples up there. I just took one off because when I opened it up in the earlier video that I did, it didn't work. So now there's 2 samples, numbered 2 and 3. One is gone. There's a quantitative sample and a qualitative sample. They're not that much different. If you want to see what a proposal looks like, remember, written in the future tense, right? Remember that. Think of this as they're proposing to the research, right? So there's samples to look at. Then you've got 4 presentations, the Adobe presentations. One is proposal, one is ethics, one is sampling, one is measurements and tool development. They all total 33 minutes approximately for all those 4. Watch them, there's sound. Again, copy and paste the link in a new window if you can't hear it, okay? All right, then there's gonna be some more videos connected. Here's one, it's about the Tuskegee Airmen. That was a experiment that was terribly set up by our government, and this is a short video, about 3 minutes, that was done for a recent Black History Month. Take a look at that. Number 2 link here is for the U.S. apologizing for a 1940 syphilis study in Guatemala. Okay, and number 3 video is the Milgram experiment, redone in kind of modern times, contemporary. If you don't know what the Milgram experiment is, we'll go into it there. It's fascinating on human nature and how we can be convinced of things, right? Okay, so take a look at those. Where are we at here? All right, so, in fact, Easter egg number 2 is proposal in future tense. This might be a repeat. I've done this video so much, maybe it was just today I've done this, but proposal in future tense is Easter egg number 2. All right, remember that. Okay, so you got the videos. All right, now you have 3 worksheets to do, okay? Worksheet number 4, and these are all intended to help you brainstorm and write your sections, right? So worksheet number 4 is your introduction, or chapter 1, and it's going to give you 7 different prompts that you can write about and get some idea what you're going to write and how you're going to put your intro together. The next worksheet after worksheet 4, you'd think it would be called worksheet 5, but it isn't. It's called the methods worksheet, okay? And it's for chapter 3 of your paper. Remember, chapter 2 is a lit review. All right, and you're going to talk about your methods, your methodology, and there's going to be 7 prompts in that one that will help you to articulate your methodology. Then worksheet number 5 is 2 questions on variables. Identify some of the variables you have to consider in your research project and describe some strategies for how you'll deal with these variables, okay? Those are your 3 worksheets, 20 points apiece, all right? I'm gonna close these down so I can look at less. All right, so now there's a sample. Let me get that out of there, get rid of that out of there. Okay, and after all that, you got a quiz of 20 questions, 3 points each, 60 points altogether. It covers basically everything we've talked about. Okay, it's all multiple choice. And if you have, quizophobia, you might freak out about it. But once you get into it, piece of cake, right? You guys are doing the work. Very pleased with the efforts of this class, by the way. As a side note, I think you guys are doing really a great job under the difficult conditions that you're under. You're earning 3 credits at Arizona State University. This is not to be taken lightly. It's work, and you guys are doing it, okay? I appreciate it. All right, so I'm also going to, we're at 11 and a half minutes, but I'm going to post another video the middle of the week, maybe later, maybe Thursday. By no later than Thursday, I'll have another video posted. I'll tell you right now, that video is not worth anything in terms of points, but it's worth everything in terms of this class. Because I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a how-to DIY, do-it-yourself video on how to build your survey, okay? It's going to be extremely important because if you don't get this right, your research is blown up, right? So I'm going to be posting that in the middle of next week. Take a look for that, view it, and then we'll get into those questions. Even though this is module 4, module 5, be writing the proposal and getting ourselves prepared to get, but I'd actually like to see you get your surveys out by the end of next week, beginning of the following week. Or no, I'm sorry, this is Saturday where I am. So if you're looking at Sunday the 21st, then say by the 28th or so, 28th to the 29th, I'd like you to get your survey out, 27th, 28th, 29th. Okay, as soon as it's ready, all right? And we'll talk about that in the video. So don't worry about it till then, all right? Get this other stuff done. Remember, due dates are guides to what to do first, second, third, fourth. It's all they are. So before you do your evaluation at the end of this course and say, I wish all the due dates would be September and Sundays nights. Why can't they all be Sunday nights or Wednesdays? They can't. Okay? Because I'll repeat it like George Carlin, the great comedian, once said, time is nature's way of making sure everything doesn't happen at once. And that's my due dates are my way of making sure that you don't do everything at once and out of order. Because if you do a worksheet before a paper or do a worksheet before you watch a video or whatever, you're going to miss out. And then you're going to say, can I go back? No, only Superman can spin. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so you guys, last Easter egg is watch the survey video. When that comes out, it's going to be bigger than Spider-Man and whatever. I'm just kidding. All right. So it's not going to be quite as big. All right, that's it. God, I don't want to cut the end of this video off. I think we got it. I'm going to go eat. You guys, forks up, and see ya.